Hey, what's going on? It's your boy back at you with another video. Before I get started, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss this great content. Um, I want to start on James Harden, and today he completely threw uh, Daryl Morey under the bus, and I thought that was such a weak and pussy move. And I'm going to say, man, that James Harden has to be the weakest man I've ever seen in my life. He said that Daryl Morey is a liar, that he can't be trusted. No, you can't be trusted, James. You talking all this bullshit about Daryl Morey, but where were you, Game 7 against the Boston Celtics? Where were you, man? In that Eastern Conference semifinals, Game 7, where were you? They brought you to Philadelphia to help Joel because he needed help. He needed a superstar guard. They brought you here to help Joel. What have you done? You've done absolutely nothing but cry and make excuses, man. And I just think at the end of the day that I say it all the time, that these players, they have no accountability. That you might feel the way you feel about Daryl Morey, but for you to have that press conference throwing him totally under the bus, when you're the one who has failed in Philadelphia, you ran from Brooklyn, you ran out of Houston. If you keep failing, I'm going to say something. James Harden, if you keep failing, it can't be everybody, bro. It's got to be you. You're the problem. You're lazy. You jack up a bunch of three-point shots. You don't go to the basket. You're not in great shape. You're fat and out of shape. You came to camp October last year. You came to camp overweight. We all know how you get down. You all on the gram. You in the clubs. Shouldn't you be in the gym working on your game? Shouldn't you be? You eat a lot of crazy stuff. Shouldn't you be like on a diet? Because a lot of NBA players, shouldn't you have like a private chef that can cook you great good food, so you won't keep gaining all this weight? It's just you're the problem, not Daryl Morey. He can be a jackass sometime too, but you say he's a liar. But where were you? Where were you Game 7 against the Warriors? Where were you Game 6 against the San Antonio Spurs? Where were you? You were nowhere to be found, bro. Your whole career in a big moment, you disappeared. But that's typical James Harden. That when shit go wrong, you want to blame somebody else. You failed in Brooklyn, bro. You was horrible with the Brooklyn Nets. Horrible. You were horrible. And that's the problem with today's society. Nobody wants to blame. They want to blame everybody else instead of looking at themselves. And I think that he's a very weak man for this. Daryl Morey, he puts the team together. He don't dribble the basketball. He don't jack up a bunch of three-point shots like you do. I mean, come on, man. Now, I know a lot of y'all people think I'm crazy anyway. But Game 7 against the Boston Celtics, you were one game away from the Eastern Conference Finals, bro. Where were you? You were nowhere to be found. You had, like, that game 6. You had the Sixers, you had the Celtics on the ropes. Where were you? You disappeared. Where were you? Where were you? James, you're the failure. Alright? You're a scam artist, bro. And I made a video about that last year. You disappeared last year. You disappeared last year. It's nothing new. You disappeared against the Miami Heat last year, too. We all know you're a scam artist. We know, you talk a good game. But what have you done, man? You've done absolutely nothing. You did nothing with the Sixers. But you're throwing them under the bus. Why? Because you couldn't get your way? Why? Because you didn't want them to hire Nick Nurse? I mean, I'm sorry, but James Harden is such a pussy, man. And for him to make that move today, I was very disappointed, man. I was highly disappointed. Because ain't you better than that? I mean, you make people in LA look soft. Because that was a very soft move that he's a liar. No, you're the liar. You're the fraud. You was a complete no-show in that game 7 against the Boston Celtics. You had no interest at all. I mean, your boy just, Jaylen Brown just did whatever he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. You and Joel Embiid failed the 76ers. Yeah, I'm going to throw him. He got a little bit of blame in this too. Because in big games, where was Joel Embiid game 7 against the Boston Celtics? I mean, where was PJ Tucker? Where were you guys at? You quit. You quit on national TV. Game 7. It was totally embarrassing. They had you up by 30 points in that fourth quarter. Jason Tatum got whatever he wanted to get when he wanted to get it. It was so embarrassing that they were leaving PJ Tucker alone on three-pointers because there's no need to guard him because he's not going to make them. Where were you game 7, man? And B, where were you? Y'all were nowhere to be found. And you got Doc Rivers fired. Everybody put the blame on Doc. It wasn't Doc's fault. It wasn't his fault. You're a coach killer. You get people fired. Just like Joel Embiid said that, the team, other guys need to step up. No, you need to step up. There ain't Joel Embiid crying about how he don't have no help. You supposed to be the help. You're the MVP of the league. MVP. And you let Al Horford outplay him in the series. Al Horford is damn near senior citizen. That shit was absolutely embarrassing. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about me, but come on, man. Y'all know tonight I'm right. That's what's wrong with these NBA players today. That they weak as hell. That they don't want to blame. They want to blame somebody else instead of looking at themselves. Where were you game 7? You doing all this talking. I seen that little interview. I seen the clip on Facebook talking about Daryl Morey is a liar but what the fuck did you do when it mattered? You're nowhere to be found, bro. You're a regular season guy. You'll get your 23 points and you'll go to the free throw line 1,000 times to get 20 points. You think I don't see that either? Come on, James Harden. You're not fooling nobody. You're all bark, no bite. Where were you in that game 7 against the Warriors? When CP3 went down, why you didn't carry them to the finals? You had the team. You had the Warriors on the ropes. You had them down 3-2 with KD. Where were you game 6? Klay Thompson destroyed you. Where were you? Where were you, bro? Big moments, you disappear. When the going get tough, you get running. You get quiet. Your whole career, you're a complete joke. You're a complete joke. You're a complete scam artist. You can't be trusted. You're a snake. Because I don't care how you feel about a team, that's still, until you get traded, that's still your team. And you can run all you want to, but running ain't gonna solve everything. Why you just can't be a man except you lost last year? Come back with the crew and try to win a championship and help Joel Embiid. You're already getting older. You make too much money. Nobody's gonna want to pay a 34-year-old shooting guard that's getting a little long in the tooth. That thing today, that's the things you said about Daryl Morey, that did not help you, because you're a very weak man. You're very insignificant. Where are you? Where were you in Boston, man? Huh? Where were you in 2016 against the Spurs? Where were you? Or 17, one of those. Where were you? Where were you? Where were you in that NBA Finals against the Miami Heat? Where were you? You were nowhere to be found. Huge moments, you always shrank. You had that Warrior team. All you had to do was win one game at Orco, and you'd have been NBA Finals. And you completely disappeared. That Game 7 series, you was horrible in that Game 7 against the Warriors. Horrible. It was horrible in that game against the Milwaukee Bucks, Game 7, 2021. I don't remember that choke job. KD had to do all the work by himself. I give KD that one. KD did everything he could, but where were you? But you scored, what, 10 points? Where were you? You were nowhere to be found, man. When Kyrie got hurt, where were you? You were nowhere to be found. But you got a nerve to talk shit about Daryl Morey. You a sad little lad, bro. You a sad little lad. Real gangsters. Real. You from Compton? I know you from Compton, right? You make people in LA look soft. Today you look like a mark. James Harden is officially a straight mark-ass nigga that disappears when it matters. You're a regular season guy. Yeah, you'll get scored 23 points a game and 10 rebounds and 10 assists, and you do all this stuff in the regular season. But in the postseason, when it matters, you fucking disappear like a magic trick. That Game 7, I'm going to get back to this Game 7 against the Celtics. Where the fuck were you at, nigga? They were down by 30. The Sixers were down by 30. 30 points. You a fucking bum, man. You a fucking bum, dude. Nowhere to be found. You washed. Fat ass. Fat ass nigga. Jason Tatum was destroying you. Jaylen Brown, they did what the fuck they was taking turns destroying the Philadelphia 76ers, and they had no interest. You was not interested in that Game 7. You was ready to go to the next strip club. You a sad little lad, man. You a sad ass nigga. You fucking choke artist. But you talk shit about Daryl Morey. Fuck out of here. But the point I'm trying to make, man, is that stop blaming Daryl Morey, James Harden. Start looking at yourself. Because you're a weak bitch. When it matters the most, you disappear. You fucking choke artist. That's a pussy move, man. You're straight yeast infection. That was a yeast infection. Because a real man, when he fails, real men look at themselves. But pussy niggas blame somebody else. And you was a real pussy in that game 7 against the Boston Celtics. You was the Boston Celtics bitch. You played no defense. You showed no effort. You showed no effort, man. That Warriors series, you had them down one game. You had to win one game. You've been in the final, and you was a complete no-show. You were nowhere to be found. But you got a nerve to talk about Daryl Morey. You know how many times you choked? You choked all these big games, but you talking shit about Daryl Morey. Man, shut the fuck up, James Harden. Deuces.